I live for MAAT. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of MAAT. Every day I advance towards MAAT. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Yeah, just here again just to speak what I've learned for the past 4 years. We just Tahuti, I'm on Hotep Raw had a class um Saturday just passed. It was a Nefer. Nefer means long life, beautiful class. And also today he has a class, magic class is going on right now. I just wanna yeah, it was on my I realized this, you know, the things that I know I'm personally going through since the this frequency has been lowering. It's not You're not supposed to raise your frequency. You're supposed to lower your frequency. That's what we was taught by our ancient indigenous ancestors, and that's what Tahuti teaches. Because if you look at it, the frequency that they use today is 440 hertz. Yeah, it's 440 hertz, and to lower your frequency so you can for meditation and for the frequency to be a frequency where of how our ancestors were, the Neteru, is 434 hertz. So most of the people are being. I know my mother always told me never allow someone to hypnotize you. She told me that, and that's what's going on right now. You don't see no people that voodoo is shooting bombs anywhere in the world. Or it's not even called voodoo, but this is what the system wants to say about indigenous cultures. I don't see no Igbo I think it's called, doing shooting bombs. I don't see nobody following the Kemetic science out here shooting bombs. It's only these religious people. You only see these major religions like Christianity and Islam. You see this going on. Why? But on mainstream media, they want to push the agenda that is the indigenous people that's doing these things. I've never seen someone with voodoo going and shooting bombs and killing children and Epstein files. I've never seen anybody that's following MAAT shooting bombs and doing Epstein files. The only people I see doing that is religious people. The masculine is the when our ancestors knew that it was feminine. And that's the reason why this Orwellian opposite is going on right now, is because of this confusion, this isfet that's going on right now. And I don't know, indigenous people, you should even get involved in what's going on right now with that war, because they're fighting themselves. You know, in your Bible where they took from Amenopi and Ankh Shesh Ankh writings, where it says a house divided against a house. When Satan fights Satan, as the word Satan means enemy, the kingdom shall not stand. So you shouldn't be getting involved in that. This is all they do all the time. This is all they do, man. Trying to make you put your attention on something that you shouldn't be putting it on. Put your attention on observing and investigating. What they want to tell you on the dollar bill is the devil, is the evil, and it's all a lie. They're always twisting things because they're twisted. You don't realize that? If someone could take the truth, like for example, when I was growing up, they used to say the voodoo doll was evil, and all these horror movies are showing you they're sticking needles in the doll, and then the person's going ooh. He's feeling all these this attack that he's receiving from these people. And then when you go and do your own research and study about voodoo, you realize that those the needles and stuff was for healing. Was for healing the person. It wasn't for what they're using it for. So why in all these movies you don't see that? You don't see that going on. But yeah, but the indigenous people are the worst people on the planet, right? And another thing, I saw also the Jewish, they wish that they're saying that Ham is the cursed people and they have the right to rule the world. Where does it say that? And I'm not talking about the Hebrew because Hebrew is modern. I'm talking about when you go into the Septuagint, which is the Greek text, because that's what the Matrix was about. It was about Neo, which was Set Tepen Ra, which was Mark Kemet. That was his original name. And why in the vision of Daniel you don't see nothing about Kemet? You see the Persians and the Medes. The rough goat is the Greeks. Why you don't see nothing about that? That the rough goat Set Tepen Ra, what they said was Alexander, which is Neo, which are the Andersons. Why you don't see that in the division, the Upesh? The Upesh, that's what you're supposed to be concerned with. Oh, like I said, yeah, like I was saying, when you go into the hieroglyphics, there's nowhere in the hieroglyphics you're gonna see anything with Ham. Ham, the Africans are Hamites. Where? It's only in the Torah, in the Bible, or in the Quran. You don't see in the hieroglyphics, in the indigenous writings. And Chem wasn't even talking about a people. It's talking about Chem means to complete. So you could keep all the lights and the energies and the frequencies to become one, so that you could resurrect. So your consciousness can resurrect. That's what the original people, the indigenous people, was talking about. So if you could show me where you see people doing voodoo, the people in Haiti, they're so evil. And I was watching this now, a young European, the Tamahu, and I give her Hanu that she was standing up to her father and telling her father what he was trying to make to her, that only thing that indigenous people want to do is they want to take drugs. The only thing they want to do is steal. How? Who's the copycats? The copycats is the system. In all the educational Illuminati books is the system. That they want you to believe that the people in the past didn't know anything. We was 3/5 of a man. Who's the one right now you see on the news acting like savages? And it doesn't matter what country they're the same people. Go and get the book Arthur Koestler, The 13th Tribe. Go and read the book and you'll see for yourself. So a lot of these people, man, they disguise and they try to act like they love black people or they love indigenous people, but they all the time they want to try to take your place. Because if you're really a person that you say you really love people of color and indigenous people, you're supposed to be giving homage. You're supposed to be teaching them to live in truth, not to be worshiping this Isfet, this chaos, this worship of the beast, this beast system. If you're really saying that you really care, but what it is, most of these people when they come over here to indigenous countries like Africa and all them, they just come here to take advantage, man. They know in their countries they could not get the women that they was getting. over here, these beautiful melanated women. So they come over here and they try to act like, oh, they try to act like they're like the indigenous people. All right, Uber Raw, rise and shine. So if you really say you love, if you really say you love the indigenous people, then try to uplift them, not come over here and try to take advantage of them. Don't come over here to try to take advantage, because especially, I mean, the indigenous people are the originators of all the religions that you see now, and the religions was not based on what you see now. If I'm not a Christian, then you're going to hell. If I'm not a Muslim, you're going to hell. There's nowhere in the indigenous writings it talks about hell. Matter of fact, hell, what you're considering hell, what's called the lake of fire, is to protect the ancestors, because they don't want Isfet and chaos coming up in there. So I'll give $1,000 right now. You tell me where you see indigenous people going to other countries and bombing each other. Where do you see that? Where? Where do you see that going on? Where do you see in the hieroglyphics, in the Metanetta, in the divine words of the Neteru? Because they never called themselves gods. That was a Greek term. Where do you see them bombing and doing all these doing all these things? What you see, these Epstein files. Where do you see them doing these things? Where? Only one that's doing that is the copycats. That's the only ones that doing it. And I'm talking about anybody that's following this chaos that's going on. They smile in your face, and then they will try to stab you in your back. They smile in your face, but then they will try to take the woman that you're with behind your back. But then they talking about, they're conscious. Conscious in doing what? In what? What they're conscious in? What? In what? Because the word Jah comes from the Gali people, and also comes from the word Yah, which is Tahuti, which they copied and made it into Thoth, and then made him into Hermes. But his original name was AAH, Yah. Remember that the vowels are interchangeable when you in the hieroglyphics. So why? If our ancestors, if they really, and if these people really say that they're following the indigenous people, why are you hating, man? Why? I remember, you go back 20, 30 years ago, they used to be, and I heard still that in some places these systems still pushing the blackface thing going on. When it had nothing to do, it had nothing to do with that. The main thing that it was talking about immortality. That's what our ancestors were striving for your consciousness, because your consciousness does not die when your body expires. Your consciousness can live on. That's why you hear about people who have near-death experiences, like I have, and people that do they're able to travel out of their body. They will tell you that your consciousness lives on, and that's the reason why our ancestors, and I'm talking for me personally, what I've learned from Tahuti is written in the papyrus, in the shesh from the lotus flower, that it talks about That's what it talks about. So hi to all you copycats. You want to be something that they want to be. Just be yourself, man. It doesn't matter what color you are, but the main thing is to father Anki and MAAT. I live for MAAT. If anybody in here, can you please see if you could tell me the meaning of the word spiritual according to the new age, system today that they're pushing. What is the meaning of spiritual? So we're in the time we're in now. You have to lower your frequency and be observer and be an investigator. People come if you people want to learn about MAAT, about the truth, teach them. But make sure that you give homage and you give honor and praise to where it originally came from. Regardless of if the modern day terms is being pushed more, and the reason why they're doing that is to push you away from the original meanings. Yeah, so what's the original meaning of the word spirit? I be honest with you, I try my best not to watch the news, man. I try my best because I know it's propaganda, and this system is the masters of propaganda. And you know the reason why it works? Because they push it every single day. The Isfet never sleeps. Like Tahuti was going. You should watch the class. It was really enlightening. It was really dealing with knowledge and wisdom of the ancestors. Yeah, there's no way. I'm still waiting, man. Where in the hieroglyphics, where in the Medinetta, where in the history of Africa were they calling themselves Ham? Where was they calling themselves that? Copycats? Where? And the only reason why the other countries are coming over here, they're supposed to be the first world countries are coming over here and they're profiting, is because of the propaganda. That's the only reason why. But behind closed doors, in these fraternities, they're praising the indigenous melanated ancestors, the ones that are the originators. Like I said, you go and watch Tahuti's class about Ankh Shesh Ankh, that where the word what they use the word for karma, which is not karma, because karma is really the energy, and we did a class on it already years ago, and we're not only just talking. Go to Tahuti's podcast and check it out. It's 4 years of information that he has. Give your reciprocity. Give your hotep. Give your hetep, which is give your hetep, which is a ornament which has food on top of it. The hetep. Give your hetep so you can keep that frequency. So it says, "Do unto others that they want you to do unto you," was taken from Ankh Shesh Ankh, what they put in Matthew 7 and 12. How you doing, Henu? What they put in 7 and 12. So originally, what goes around comes from the mayhem, which is the snake eating its tail. So that's why you hear now that we're supposed to be in the Aquarian age, the 25,800 cycle, and we're oh that's what I was supposed to say, an altar with food on top of it. So that cycle that's going on right now, where people are gonna reap what they sow. That originally came from the mayhem, the snake eating its tail. So so right now, use the eye. Don't use the eye thinking, oh, the eye is the eye of Satan. There's nowhere in the indigenous writings it talks about no Satan or no Baphomet. What they did, they just twisted the goat of Mendes in the Egyptian writings, and they twisted it and made up this nonsense. What you see, this confusion, this Isfet, what you see today. So, but technically, really, just be an observer, be an investigator, and if you want to judge you. Focus on working on you, changing your frequency, lowering your frequency to that 434 hertz. Doing your trying to look within, especially at night. And go into the darkness so that you can become, so you become that light. So you can echo out your body, so you can have these experiences before your final ejaculation, your final ejection from this cart, your physical body. The 9 parts of your car and your bar. Yeah, so like I said, go in. Please show me where in the hieroglyphics, where in the Metanetta, do you see where they're calling the African melanated people Ham? That these supremacists, these WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, this system is promoting right now. Where does it say that? Where does it say that they're Ham and that they're cursed? Where? Noah looked at his nakedness, and when you go into the Enuma Elish, when you go into the Astra Hysis, there's no name of Noah. His name is not even Noah. Even in the Quran, there's no Noah. It's not Noah. And you could go in the Hebrew, the word "nak" is not in the ancient, the oldest language is not Hebrew. It's hieroglyphics. It's Metanetta. It's the hieratic. That's the oldest language. So don't get distracted with all this Isfet and chaos that you're seeing, because it's part of nature. You have 2 poles. You have the left side of the pole and you have the right side of the pole. And eloquently, Amonhotep Ra eloquently last Saturday explained it, and because I was even still having that confusion about what was the worship of the beast and this and that. And then now I understand it. It's the negative side of nature. That's all it is. Which it doesn't take any effort to do. It doesn't take any effort for you to turn to the left side. But it takes effort for you to be on the right side of MAAT, the balance. It takes effort. But it doesn't take any effort for me to go and cheat. That's the most easiest thing you can do. It don't take no effort for me to go and do those heinous crimes that you see in the Epstein files. You're just letting yourself go instead of having discipline, and instead of following the footsteps of our ancestors. to lead with the left, lead with your heart, your ib. Then they can say, "Oh, you talking about the left? You talking about you worshiping the devil and evil." Our ancestors never even called it evil. It was called Isfet and chaos. They're just doing that to confuse you. That's all they're doing. And if there was a hell, all these things that you see these people doing, why are they still in power? Why are they still billionaires? Why they still got hundreds of millions of dollars? Why they still over there with all the things that you heard what was going on in the information that they're bringing out? Why are they still doing it? If there was what you call a God in your religion, why is he not stopping it? He's omnipresent. He's all knowing. Why is he not stopping it? Only in your religion. Because these were all modern day terms with propaganda. These are modern day terms with people that want to be undisciplined. This is a modern day terms with people that are copycats. They're not comfortable with being themselves because what are they without MAAT, without the truth? What are they? Without the standards of MAAT, what are they? They're nothing. So that's why they have to copycat. That's why they have to manipulate. That's why they have to do propaganda. Because that's the isfet. That's the easy way. That's the easy way out to do things. But to be disciplined, and to investigate with the eye, because that's what the eye represents. And if people didn't know that have done meditations and have done rituals and have done psychedelics, and I'm not condoning that, because you don't have to do that. You could do it for just studying the divine words and the hieroglyphics. You'll be able to see how heaven, the pet, our ancestors call, which is within you, looks. And stop being afraid of the fear, fire, earth, air, and water, the fear of MAAT, because that's what it was called. What we want to call today death. I've seen many people that died in front of me, and I've never seen them in. I'm telling you, be honest with you, I've never seen them in any pain. None. I experienced life. I gave birth. To my daughter. That's the pain I've seen with birth, but I haven't seen when someone mutts. When we go back to our mother, the womb, the feminine energy. I've never seen them in any pain. Usually, I mean, if they have an illness, but I mean, in the time of the transition of them going into MAAT, they usually go into a coma, like a comatose state, like a sleep state. That's what I've seen. So a lot of these movies, like I said, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. So what, like I said from the beginning, where do you see these people in Haiti? Where do you see these people in New Orleans? Where do you see these people in Africa that do the indigenous voodoo, what they want to call voodoo, or whatever the name is? Where do you see them murdering and killing like these religions, these major religions today? Where do you see it? Where do you see them copying? When you go to these indigenous countries, they're the most beautiful people on the planet. But that's why now I see why my mom always told me, don't never allow someone to hypnotize you, because or never allow them to do that, because that's what's going on right now, 24 hours a day. this isfet and this chaos, because it's easy. It's easy to let yourself go. It's harder for you to be disciplined. That's why I don't play them games when it comes to MAAT. I don't play them games. Because that's how people use this. They're trying to act like they're trying to be your friend, but then when you see it, they're really just trying to replace you. They're just trying to take advantage of you. If you're really not a part of the system and you're not a copycat, you're not using propaganda, then speak the truth, man. Treat these people like how you treat God. Yeah, the indigenous people, melanated people, treat them the same way how you go to a church and you pray and you bow down and you do all these things to what you call Jesus and God. That's how you're supposed to be treating these people as well. Because they're in the image of the Creator. When our ancestors came down, they explained this, man. The Kemanu, the 8, which is infinity, which is the Mayhem. They explain this, that we are immortal beings. All people are immortal beings. All people. Because we all have a car and a bar. We're immortal beings experiencing a physical experience. And if the ancestors, the indigenous people, were so-called evil, why did their empires last so long? It was the longest empires on the planet. I'm not saying they never had wars. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that it lasted longer than any other civilization on the planet, and it was all based on love. It was all based on reciprocity. It was all based on immortality. But these religions, that's all they do: shooting, killing. Like the ancestors called the Ben, which is the image of the phatic, which represents fertility. They want to change that into the word tech, into a gun. Why? How can you look at something and know? Because you have Europeans that translated the hieroglyphics, the Medunetta, into English, and it tells you what the meaning of the word is. Why would you still use the word tech? Why? How is that a gun to kill when it represents immortality? And then it's evil. Oh, a person's doing tarot cards. They're worshiping the devil. A person is using Palo Santos, or using smudging. Oh, they're the devil. They're worshiping the devil. What devil? These are all modern terms. That a devil is anybody, any person you see out here doing isfet, doing negativity. That's considered a devil. And if they resurrected and they became isfet, a Sabaoun fiend, then they're a Sabaoun fiend. But that don't mean that there's one particular being that they're worshiping. No, it's not like that. It's according to our ancestors. Which is, go and watch Tudi's class that he did Saturday. You'll see how it really will open up your eyes, your wajid, your eyes, for you to see MAAT, to see the truth, to see the feminine energy. that it represents a pep, which is the negative side of nature, which is balanced every night. That's what the story was about the Pa'ut, about the nine. And what they do, they bring balance. Why would a person want to not have balance though? I don't get it. Why? Why would you if you all your life you want balance? And then all of a sudden, because of somebody that comes of propaganda, that you return to Isfet and chaos. Why? And if you say you believe in God, our ancestors never did it. So why would you do it? Why would you allow people to turn you from what is right? And don't say you don't know right from wrong. If you're an adult, you know right from wrong, because you would not go and put your hand in the fire. You would not put your hand in fire. And then we got the nerve to talk about where these we're the adults. We're the adults. But then you're in the Epstein files, these people have everything that you could want. And look what they're doing to the children. They had everything that they want. And then you're going behind your wife's back and giving her STDs. I know I was capable of doing those things when I was a beast, when I was confused into Isfet, but I no longer do those things now because of Anki and MAAT, because I live for MAAT. I live for the investigation. I live for observing. Why are they being racist against the indigenous people when they're the ones that gave them the information, man? Why? It doesn't make sense. Why all you want to do is copy and try to act like you're this righteous person, but you're into Isfet. You're into chaos. And I know it's harder for women as well, especially in this world, because how the system is set up, especially in Christianity and in Islam. When the woman was equal, when the feminine energy is the original energy, which is the car, what you call the spirit, which is a feminine energy. How can it be masculine? But Adam, you see, because Adam was born first, and you took the rib from the rib of Adam. But when you go in Genesis 5:2, it says, in the beginning was male and female created he them, Adam. 5:2 it says Adam is male and female. But your pastor's not going to tell you that. Your pastor's not going to tell you that. Because it's all about control, this masculine control, which is Isfet and chaos. So all they want to do is fight, murder, and kill for what, man? When nature is natural. I can't remember who's that guy now, that Tamu, that European guy now. That's all that money. If you think you know what I'm talking about, that now he wants to make GMOs. How? Seeds have been around for thousands, hundreds and thousands of years. Why all of a sudden now this adulterer? Because I bet he's talking about. He said he believes in Jesus and God, but he was an adulterer, going sleeping with Russian women. These are the people that you really want. You want to, because why? Because he gives you $100 million. But then he's controlling. Now he's trying to control the land, the tar. Why would we allow this, man? Why? When nature is the school teacher. So like I said before, this stop being concerned with what's going on in this system, because the system is the matrix, which is really the matrix is supposed to be the woman, because the woman's the one that gives birth. But now it's been perverted to what you see now. So that's what MAAT means. Do your own research. Stop relying on this system, and this is an eye opener for you to wake up now and see that what they was telling you in these religions is a lie. Because you see now they're coming out with the so-called UFO documents to prove that there's existences more than human beings. And the word human means those that oppose the gods. Who's the gods that the humans are opposing? The Neteru. What you want to call angels. Because Set, what they call Isis, is depicted with wings, with having wings as well. So don't stop falling into the trap, man. Stop falling. Oh, because he's white. There's no such thing as white. I've seen different shades of pink, but I've never seen white. And I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying that a lot of melanated people do not love yourselves, man. You don't. You still believing in the colonizer is gonna come back in the sky on a horse and save you. When even Europeans, Tamil, are coming out and telling you that it's not true. That the ancestors look like melanated people that followed immortality, that know that a Tamil or European can become immortal. Their conscious state can become immortal. That's why you have Europeans coming out telling you that died and came back and told you what they saw, which I can vouch for as well, that it is true. That a lot of the hieroglyphics in these books that's been translated is Europeans, it's Tamil who's the ones that's translating these books, even though they didn't believe in it. A lot of them were atheists, but the point is that some of them do. We have to get out the propaganda and stop believing what you see on the news, and stop believing because the word sounds familiar that because it sounds, just because everyone else is saying something, that means that it has to be true. No, you have to go do your research. Go and do your research. Go into the etymology dictionary and get the meaning of these English spells, because English is spells. It spells exactly what you want to call what you saying a so-called witch is doing, which the word witch means wisdom. The wisdom of the craft is doing, is they're doing the same thing in the name of Jesus. They even swear on the Bible. That's why I don't call a lady a MAAT in the hieroglyphics a queen anymore. I don't call her that anymore, because when you look up the word in etymology, it means a whore. Comes from the word Uean. So go and do your own research now. It's time now. We're in that age now, and time is short. No, we act like today's like tomorrow's promise. Who told you tomorrow's promise to you? Who? We're like a feather that you can blow. in the air, our soul, our car, our bar. So stop thinking, oh well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this on Sunday. I'm gonna do this on Tuesday. I'm gonna do this on Wednesday. Who told you that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is promised to you? I'm too young. I need to experience life. But who told you that who told you that you could have life tomorrow? Who told you to have life on Sunday? And that's the issue that's going on right now. Everybody just want to be copycats. Everybody just want to be mindlessly just walking like zombies. Everyone just wants to be parasites. Instead of being a netert, being a goddess, being a god, which are Greek terms, which are the Neteru, which our ancestors left information thousands and thousands of years ago. This ain't nothing new, I'm telling you. And even though our ancestors, they dedicated their life into immortality, but they also was never as well on Geb, on earth as well. They wanted long life. But all this system wants to promote is alcohol. That's all they want to push is alcohol. All they want to push is drugs. Instead of them pushing observer, pushing you to become an investigator. That's what the eye on the dollar bill represents. Not this Orwellian opposite, this Isfet and chaos is teaching us today. Not teaching us about Heru, the day, the light, to go coming forth into the light. Yeah, the light. If you say you believe in God, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, which is the Creator, which are the Neteru, which you are. But we're so caught up into religion, man, worshiping one person, one Muhammad, one Jesus. When the original teachers never even taught that. They never taught that. Show me in the hieroglyphics. Show me in the Medinene. And stop hiding the way you stand for the truth. And regardless of your age, start standing up for the truth. Only one person we got is you. No one is more educated than you, because finding out that all this information is all copied and plagiarized. But then they got the nerve when you take an exam. If you do it, if you don't put the hyphens on the side, then you're plagiarizing, and you can be kicked out of the exam. But everything they did they plagiarized. And that's to show you how advanced and how beautiful our ancestors were, that they gave us the information, sat back, and let us do this thing on our own. Because they got their things that they have to deal with as well. But even though they still left time out to try to make us become Haru, make us become Hefa, the house of light for the women. So stop believing in because you see a melanated person and you keep thinking that they're evil and all this nonsense. Because it's not true. It's only propaganda to take the attention. That's what people do. They put the negative on something, so they can distract you from what's really going on. And what's the most important thing is you. You are the most important thing, because your consciousness. You want to keep your consciousness to live forever. You don't want to experience the second death. Yeah, the second death. Yeah, you could leave here and then you could die again. You can mutt again. That was the whole story you read about Osiris, Greek, where you read about Osar. That Marie, where they get the word Mary, and Nebtet, her sister, resurrected their husband, Osar. So start, folks. We have Tahuti podcast every Saturday. We don't judge, regardless. We don't judge according to color. We don't judge according to religion, because we know indigenous writing was the original writing. We can what we do all the time. This is what we dedicate the house of our town, the ancient Turin teaching of the Nederu. That's what we dedicate our life to for people to know that the Atan is Ra, is the sun, which you are. You are the Kemanu, to make you complete. So you could per M Haru. Not the Book of the Dead. That's propaganda. That's what they did that to scare you away. When you growing up, they're making these movies. The Mummy 1, the Mummy 2, the Mummy 3. And the word mummy means to eat human flesh. The mummy's walking. He's coming for you. Dun, dun. It's only in propaganda. Only in the movies. Only in comic books. When the real Marvel was Kemet. The real hero was Haru. Because he defended Kemet against Set. And Set where I said before in my other live, what they want to call Satan, what they want, or the Church of Set, was a CIA operatives that knew about the ancient culture of Kemet, Smari Tari, as above as below, Tamari, the land of love, or Kemet. They knew about it, but then out of what? Out of the lower, out of this Isfet, this chaos. Out of greed. Instead of love, instead of Marie, which is all set. To raise your dejed, raise your pestet, which is your vertebra, your light, the fluid in your vertebra, to resurrect you. That's why when you see in the images, that's what they're doing. That's what the EE stands for in the original name for the Pharaoh. To raise you up, so that you could statute, what they call astral project, which is the training, the time for you to be training before the final training, where you transfer. And in chemistry, when it comes from Kemet, energy cannot be destroyed. It only could be transferred. And I don't understand, why is it evil for you to speak about love? Why is it evil for you to speak about immortality? Why is that evil? It doesn't make sense. If I'm giving you advice, I won't use the word advice because the word it's a negative. It's negative. But if I'm giving you the truth of my art, why would you go and listen to a religion to tell you that's something evil or isfet or chaos? If you go and do your own writing, stop listening what people. A lot of these people are bots. A lot of these people online are bots, and a lot of these people are being paid to push this agenda, this propaganda. Go and do your own research. Tootie Podcast is live every Saturday. He's on Killer Priest's show. We have information there. The House of Atan. Over 4 years of information. And there's other people that's coming out with the information as well. We need to unite right now. Start worrying about ourselves. Stop worrying about what's externally going on. Because you say you really believe in Jesus, that's what Jesus or that's what he was teaching. Whenever you see when he was healing the person, he always said that it's because of that person the reason why they was healed. Because of their belief is the reason why they was healed. Stop listening to these Hebrew Israelites that's coming out telling you that the people in Africa are heathens and all this nonsense. When the word heathen, this means nations. And when you go into the book of Samuel, into the book, even though I do not follow anything, I'm just putting it out there for people that do follow that in the time of Samuel, when Samuel said that he wanted the spirit, yeah, I'll tell you, which is the Ankh, which represents life, to be inside of you. The Israelites, they rejected it. They rejected it. They said they wanted to be like the nations. So he said, okay, you want to be like the nations? Then okay, I'm gonna give you David. I'm gonna give you Saul. And you see what happened when according to that story that they took. Because David is really Senahu. And I bet you a lot of you don't even know who Senahu is. Well, I never knew neither until 4 years ago. Until I started following the classes, Tahuti Pod classes. And stop thinking and go and actually, and if you want to know, go and ask your pastor or your I can't remember what they call the people your Sufi in Islam. Go and ask them. So that's what I stand for. I stand for Tamari, the land of love. I stand for truth, which is my art. To investigate, to observe. Stop trying to control someone. Control yourself. Have discipline enough to keep yourself. Take care of yourself. Go to the gym. Go and work out. Do your exercise. Go and do your own research. Stop relying on someone you think because they have a degree, which is just anybody can have a degree. Most of the people you see that's in power, they buy their degrees. Stop trying to change the something outside. Change you first. Change you. You be a role model. You pick up the banner and try to live that life. Stop worrying about what happened to you in the past, because that's the past. It's an experience, whether it's negative or positive, or whatever someone have done to you. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Stop trying to, oh, because you don't look like a certain person. Who told you that that person is supposed to look, that everyone, that person, even though the word perfect means perfect, means whole, but everyone looks different, and that's beautiful. That's never. That there's only one person like you in this entire world. So I don't know why people are so surprised about, the UFOs, UAPs, about Epstein, this beast system, and even that they twist that as well. 666. when you look up the word 666 is carbon. That's all it is. It represents this physical existence that we're in. That's the reason why we have melanin, to protect that coating that we have. But then they want to twist that and use that and say it's evil. Go and do your research. Go back to the indigenous writings, the original writings, and go and do your own research. Don't get distracted with what's going on. Don't stop believing in what they're telling you. Because it's fair. It's chaos. Stop believing in what our ancestors taught. Start treating the woman as your equal. And especially stop following this propaganda, these politics, and this religion. Which behind closed doors they know the truth. These Catholics, these popes, they know about the pharaohs, because they have pharaoh names. They worship Isis. They worship Marie, which is Orset, and they worship Heru. That image, the Black Madonna, is not Jesus and Mary. It's Heru and Orset, or Marie. Her name was Marie in the hieroglyphics. That's the ones they're worshiping, but they use it for Isfet. They use it for the negativity, because it's easy to be negative. But it's harder to be disciplined. But then we want to talk about, you want to raise children, but you don't even want to be disciplined enough to have control over your body. A lot of these big religious leaders, man, you finding out now that they used to go. They was at Diddy's they was at Diddy's parties. And don't think just because these things are being brought out that it's gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. This is the negative side of nature. This nature means natural. That these people do not care. Stop worrying about them having a conscience. Make sure that you have your conscience. Make sure that you're able to become light as a feather, lighter than a feather. This is awareness for you to change. But when you change, when we change, and then we become the light, then it will outshine. It will shine in the darkness, where they cannot stand, because light is also fire as well. They won't be able to stand. They won't be able to stand. But as long as they could keep thinking that you're this high frequency, which is your ego, and thinking that you don't, just because of your age or because of your degree, that you don't have to listen to what you don't have to learn all over again. I have to learn all over. I had to learn over again every day. I'm investigating every day. I have to observe. That's what Ma'at is. That's the standard of our ancestors. I have to do that. It's something you have to do all the time, because the other side and the left hand side doesn't sleep. And really, you don't sleep neither. Sleep, you won't be here. You be in the Netica in the afterlife. Thanks for the likes. Um, the likes is for to get the information out for our children. Because we don't want our children to go through the same thing that to experience this, man. What we're going through now, this confusion for no reason, fighting over things that the nature gives us. So I hope you like and hope you support the House of Atan Tuli podcast. Give your reciprocity, because where your heart is, that's where you will give your energy. I always have to emphasize that, because a lot of people don't realize that we have to give to receive, and that's also with our ancestors also, which were your great grandparents. That, if you want to keep that connection, is giving support, because we can go and support these stars and actors and this industry, and we see that they're a part of Isfa and chaos. They're doing these things on the left hand side, when you could do these things in righteousness, in truth. But what it is that it's easy to just give up and just do whatever you want, and then put on a facade and make it seem that you have standards when you really don't. Because if you're doing those things to children, and you're doing all these things, and you're cheating, and you because when you a lot of these songs, they're promoting that, sleeping with other men's wives and stuff like that. They promote these things. They're cowards, sneaking around. When, like I said before, in the mayhem, the snake eating its tail, you don't have to worry about nothing. Even though you put your energy and you put your love, and you do your best to try to be right with someone, but don't expect that person has to do right for you, to you. But just make sure that you're doing the right thing, and eventually they're gonna reap what they sow. That's what the mayhem is. What you want to call karma. But really, karma is the energy that you came in with, that you have to take with you when you leave here. Don't allow this system to take away your energy, your karma. So hopefully, if the net will give me a chance again to come out, I will do another live again. So our affirmation is Anki and Ma'at, Un NS, Ninte Ose and Ma'at, Min Hepapet and Ma'at, Her and Hui, Per Iku. I live for Ma'at, I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. So if you would like to support, give reciprocity. I think I left a link. I will leave a link below. And if you're more interested in learning and investigating to find out about your 9 parts of your soul, your car and your bar, we have classes every Saturday for anybody to come. And we're not going to judge you according to how you look or according to how you talk. We're going to teach you what our ancestors taught us. which has been here thousands of years ago, which is MAAT. Okay, so Henu, Uben Ra. I hope we can talk again another time.